Hello and welcome to Reports from Arbroath. Today we are in lovely Worcester, 450 miles from Arbroath, and our very special guests are Stine and Ashley Giles. Stine and Ashley first met in Walkabout Sports Bar in Birmingham in 1998. Since then they've travelled far and achieved much, most significantly in a direction which they can't possibly have envisaged that distant day in 98. In 2006, Stine was diagnosed with a brain tumour. She underwent successful treatment at Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham. 6 years later, 2 more tumours were found. Again, the treatment was successful. Stine had promised herself if the treatment went well and the prognosis was good, she would dedicate herself to raising money for research into the treatment of brain tumours. In 2015, with Ashley, she launched the Giles Trust Brain Tumour Fund, and this year the fund is 10 years old and has raised £1.3 million for one of the most underfunded areas of cancer research. Stine and Ash, very warm welcome to Reports from Arbroath. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stine, it's quite a journey you've travelled. You must feel very proud.
Absolutely. I couldn't foresee that this is the result after 10 years that we raised 1.3 million, and the difference we made to our patients is amazing.
You made that promise to yourself that you were going to devote yourself to raising funds and awareness. That's a wonderful idea to have. Turning it into reality must have been a challenge. Tell us about how that happened.
Well, I literally just called up on my friends. I said, look, we need to give something back to the brain tumour patient because I've made it through 3 brain tumours. And then I spoke to my friends. I said, look, let's put on a ball at Edgbaston, and we're looking into that. And I think it was October 2015, it became a reality. And then when you then see what difference that made, we raised £60,000 the first ball that we did. And this is net profit. And so when I had a chat with Professor Cruikshank, and I said, what should we do? And he said, I think we can invest in now, going forward, to a research nurse at the QE Hospital, which we actually the first charity that's ever invested in a research nurse at the QE. So then we have to pay for her wages. So then I had to do another one and another one.
But the importance of sorry to interrupt, the importance of the research nurse is you can get these drugs almost given to you by companies to test, but without someone with the capability and ability to test them, it could go nowhere. So that's the benefit of having a research nurse, isn't it?
Yeah, so the core of the Giles Trust start off, it was actually research, but since then we have developed a lot more.
You have first-hand experience of everything that a person goes through when you have a brain tumour and all the treatment and the worry, and it's a real difficult environment in every way, isn't it? So I guess calling on those experiences enables you to try and shape the charity and we need to do this, we need to do that.
So I think what we're really lucky is, well, first of all, Queen Elizabeth Hospital Charity is our support network. So that means that we can keep her outgoing to a minimum. But also the clinical team, we work really closely with them. So by doing that, we find out exactly what's needed. Is this technology, whatever they want to, they tell us, and we go out fund for that. So that we know all the time whether they need new equipment, or whether they need training, or is something special for the patient that is needed. So by doing that, we get a better view of that. But also, since then, we opened the first Stine's Home from Home, which means that if you've been treated at QE, which we often do at the Centre of Excellence, they might come from Cornwall, they might come from Sheffield, and of course, there's travel far, so the family can come and stay with us whilst the patient been treated at the QE. So this is also quite vital for us going forward.
So the charity and what it does is evolving, I guess, as it goes.
Absolutely.
Really broad, isn't it now? Because we started quite narrow in the research and treatment. But now, yeah, I mean, Stine's Home from Home has added a whole new perspective of care. And then I think more recently, the experiences we've been able to give patients has added again another level.
So when we have terminal ill patients, they are surrounded by doctors, treatments, medication, all of that. And they might have 5, 6, 7 months to live. And we're trying to support them and creating memories for the family, but also for them. So they might meet their heroes. One of them they met Ash, which is good, surprisingly.
Place to it.
You're welcome.
But they've met football managers,
Yeah,
NFL players. We've sent them on trips.
yeah.
You've even helped arrange a wedding fairly recently.
Yes, and also there was a family. They went to Legoland, and the son was celebrating his 5th birthday, and he's sadly passed away since then. So these things are crucial because we create memories that they can take forward.
That's very special, of course, and there's several strands to what you do, isn't there? And the research, I guess, that was almost the reason that you set up the trust.
I think we are split it into 3. So it's the research, which is the core of the Giles Trust. Then you've got the equipment and clinical team, and then you've got the treatment and for the patient and look after the family and create a treatment for.
And you said at the start that when you were actually setting up this the organisation, it was basically calling on friends and saying, well, look, come and get involved in this. So it's a really lovely thought that a lot of people obviously responded to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we had over 200 people in the room at the first ball, I think.
Yeah.
And that's just the role. But of course, we can't do this without sponsorship. We can't do that with support of our friends and family, but also for other people. And what we would like to do is to spread the word so more and more people will get involved in the Giles Trust.
It's great that we've got such a strong support network of friends and people who are now part of the Giles Trust family, but we can't just rely on that forever. So we need to spread a bit more, spread the word, and we're doing that, but it's hard work as well, isn't it? You know, the ball we have particularly in this year, September the 20th, but we get a lot of return visits because it's what we try and do also is not just take people's money, but it should be fun. You know, these events should be fun. Should enjoy it. Should be high quality. We've consistently had them at the old enemy of Edgbaston, sitting where I am now. Yeah, they're very special. But they were born out of just Stina's small circle of friends, and actually, she's still a powerhouse behind it. You know, my name's associated with it. Of course, I'm in it, but it would be nothing without Stina and her team.
You've obviously been with Stina all the way through since that first diagnosis. Ash, just tell us about her and her strength.
Yeah, well, it's quite extraordinary, really. I mean, the first time, I think we were all just scared, and we had a remarkable surgeon in Professor Cruikshank, Garth Cruikshank, who is now retired. Yeah, we often talk about sports people being great in my line of work, but they're not compared to these people. These people save lives. When we came through that, I think it was well, let's move on with our lives. But when Stina had the recurrence and Tumour, she wanted to give something back, and that's giving back through the Giles Trust. But her strength in a way, through all of that adversity, she just picked herself up and got on with it. But I suppose what's the option? You know, she's never been one to nothing to lay down and just go, well, that's it. So, but for me, I think the big thing is we're very lucky. We're lucky to still have Stina. You know, our kids are very lucky to still have their mum. There are so many families who don't get that, and so many young people die. I mean, this is the biggest killer in under 40s across adults and children, brain tumours. And it's only about 2% of the total funding. So that doesn't make this a worse cancer than any others. They're all really bad, but it means it needs a lot of attention.
And you are doing your very big bit to plug that gap, aren't you? Because as you say, it is the most underfunded of cancer researchers, isn't it? Which is curious, isn't it? When you think of what a hideous thing it is. As you say, there's no league table of cancers, is there? But it's strange that this one is low on the list for funding. So it's really good that you're plugging that gap or try.
And also survival rate is very, very low as well for brain tumour. And we need to change that. And the only way we can do that is through charity, I think, with research and invest more in it. But also, I wanted to talk a little bit more about where the future's looking for us now. So, for instance, we had a meeting with a clinical team, and they were telling about these VR goggles that is a game changer. So the only way I can explain it, so you have your MRI scan and you can see that on a picture, but with this, you can see every single angle. You can see every blood vessel goes into the brain tumor, so you will know exactly where the brain tumor is sitting, where it's connected to. And this is really important when they plan for this operation, because there's not going to be any surprises. So for instance, with my brain tumor, my first brain tumor, they opened up, they knew there was the size of a cricket ball. What they didn't realize was that I had a 7-centimeter long tail on my brain tumor, which went through the main blood vessels, top of my head. Of course, that created a bit of problems for them, but with this, they don't have that. And secondly, when they do operate, they give the patient like a dye, and that means that you can tell exactly, when they use these goggles, they would then see the brain tumor will be one color and what healthy tissue will be a different color. So they only take away the brain tumor. But this is game changing. But of course, this costs money, and that's where we come in. So this year we want to raise money we need 6 of these goggles. We invested already to 1, and this year is all about that.
Yeah, I mean, they are game changing because you're not playing with muscle or bone, you're playing with the brain, and the slightest, wrong move, which is understandable when you're dealing in millimeters or tenths of, can cost someone their sight or their ability to walk or talk. So crucial. It's amazing what technology is doing, and it's moving so quickly, but we need the funds to be able to support that.
Yeah, and of course, these wonderful advances come because of the research, and that comes because it has to be funded, doesn't it? So that makes all your work.
And then NHS can't afford to do this. This is where charity comes in. Only us can do that. So, and hopefully in the future we can do that quite quickly as well.
If somebody had said to you 10 years ago that 10 years down the line, you'd have raised £1.3 million and supported so many people in so many ways, would you believe that?
Absolutely not.
It's probably a bit more than that as well now, I would think.
I mean, 1.5 million probably. So, which is great. We need every penny that we can have. But no, I didn't have the long-term vision I have now, because I'm really passionate and I can see the difference it's making.
And you're going to stick with it and just keep on going?
Absolutely. It's in my blood now.
Okay, well, you should be very proud. I'm sure everybody is very proud of you. And just finally, what's on the immediate horizon? Is the ball arranged for this year?
Yes. So we got Ascot Day, first of all, which is on the 20th of June, which is in Nuthurst Grange in Solihull, which is a great event. It's a small event, but it's great fun. And we still got ticket available for that. And we also got the big ball, which is the 20th of September.
Yeah.
And then we got a golf day on the 10th of October at the
Droitwich, yeah. And we're getting my old mate Goffey down to support. So there'll be a bit of fun with us too at the end of the day. But I think the thing about the ball again is, I've said it already, but it's a great night out. And all the money goes to the right place, the charities. So come and join us. It's going to be a special one this year because it's a 10-year anniversary. So be extra fun. Often a long night, but as we say, all the money goes to the right place.
Well, everybody listening, please do get involved. And if on the other side of the coin, if you want to get involved, does it come through the NHS or can people come straight to yourselves?
Come straight to us.
Yeah.
On the website.
Come to the website, yeah. Giles Trust, which is part of the
Queen Elizabeth Hospital charity.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. You are inspiring. Don't forget that.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much, both.
Thank you very much.